If you don't have that national standard that everyone's agreed to, it means that we don't have that same level of cell phone connectivity. So we have, in a lot of ways, not regulated this area heavily, and so as a result you have systems that are electronic health record systems that are proprietary and use their own set of standards, and so as a result, when you want those two systems to talk to each other, you have to build what's called a custom interface between them to say, if I'm going to send a message from A to B, this is how that message has to get sent, and this is how to understand or parse the information that's in that message.
And so those custom interfaces essentially become translations.
Exactly.
From system A to system B.
Yeah.
And I often hear from both clinicians in America as well as policy people that this disconnectedness, a lack of sort of system integration, is a particular problem in America. That because we have a very complex healthcare system, we don't have a single payer. I'm assuming that countries that have single payer systems, they've all figured it out?
No, what we, as we've been learning more and more about what other countries are doing, health information exchange really seems to be a universal struggle. And it's been very hard to get that connectivity between systems. And what's interesting, though, I think when you look globally, is that countries are pursuing different approaches to solve this problem. So you have some countries that are thinking more about moving information point to point, so that if you were to see a patient and you knew that there was information about that patient elsewhere, you would pull that information in so that you now have a more complete record.
Yep.
Other countries are saying, let's not go that route. Let's create sort of longitudinal, comprehensive patient records that anyone could access who's caring for that patient. So they are trying to, in some ways, create something that's a little bit more centralized and say, for all citizens in our country, here is this longitudinal medical record about them. But data still has to get into it. And so even if you pursue that approach, you still have to figure out this connectivity piece of, if you're a doctor that's seen a patient, how do you get that information into this longitudinal record? So I think.
And some people have proposed a relatively simple solution, which is give all the information to the patient and let them be the connectivity. Why not do that?
Yeah, so I think it's a strategy, and some countries have pursued it, mostly in sort of small-scale pilot format. And so I think there are two reasons that continues to be challenging.